tired of relationship drama? Feel like you're talking, but no one's really listening? Like every argument ends in silence or shouting, not solutions? What if I told you the answers to your relationship struggles have been sitting quietly for over 2,000 years inside the minds of ancient Stoic philosophers? Yes, Stoics, the very people known for their calm, for their self control, for their unshakable peace, even in the middle of chaos. What if that same ancient wisdom could help you build stronger, deeper, more fulfilling bonds today in this noisy, distracted, fast scrolling world? Welcome to Stoic Wisdom for Modern Relationships. Let's start by looking at the world. We now live in a world bursting with options, but starving for depth. In the digital age, relationships are both easier to form and harder to maintain. Dating apps give us access to thousands of potential partners, but real intimacy, that's become rare. Our phones are always in our hands, yet we still feel disconnected. In an age of instant messaging, we're losing the ability to truly communicate. We want deep love but fear vulnerability. We want emotional connection but dodge uncomfortable conversations. We want loyalty but struggle to stay grounded in a world that teaches us to swipe when something feels off. So, where does Stoicism come in? It steps in not as a set of rules, but as a philosophy, a way of thinking that helps us see clearly, act with purpose, and respond with grace. At the heart of any strong relationship is communication, and the Stoics had a lot to say about how we use our words, and more importantly, our minds. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself, what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize?" That's not just philosophy, it's a mirror. Stoicism teaches us to look inward before we lash outward. Here's how we can bring that into our modern relationships. 1. Emotional regulation. Stoics weren't emotionless, they just didn't let emotions rule them. Seneca said, "Anger is like a ruin, which breaks itself on what it falls." The next time a conversation gets heated, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, is my reaction useful, or is it just my ego defending its territory? 2. Active listening. Epictetus taught, we have two ears and one mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. In relationships, this couldn't be more important. When your partner is sharing something, listen not to reply, but to understand. That's the foundation of empathy. 3. Patience and restraint. The Stoic virtue of temperance reminds us that not everything needs a reaction. Sometimes, the wisest thing you can do in an argument is to say, "I hear you, let's take a breath and revisit this calmly." No relationship is without conflict. And Stoicism never promised a life free of pain, it just promised a way to face pain with clarity. Let's be honest, conflict is inevitable, even with the people we love most. But suffering, that's often a choice. The Stoics would ask, is this within your control? That's the golden filter. Your partner's tone? Not in your control. Your reaction to that tone? Entirely in your control. Let's explore 3 Stoic tools to build emotional resilience. 1. The dichotomy of control. Epictetus said, "Some things are up to us and some things are not." If you anchor your peace to something you can't control, like another person's mood, opinions, or past mistakes, you'll always be adrift. Center yourself in what you can control: your effort, your kindness, your honesty. 2. Journaling. Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations as a private journal. Try it. Write down your frustrations before you speak them out loud. Reflect. Often, clarity arises from the stillness of writing. 3. Mindfulness. While not called mindfulness back then, Stoics practice deep self awareness. Before acting, they paused, they reflected, they observed their own thoughts. You can do the same before that impulsive text. Take a walk. Before yelling, ask, what am I really upset about? But let's not forget, before we can love others with wisdom, we must first learn to love ourselves with clarity. The Stoics often emphasize self mastery not to become detached, but to become whole. Seneca wrote, he who is brave is free. And that includes the bravery to set boundaries, to walk away from relationships that diminish us, and to nurture our own well being without guilt. A relationship should not cost you your peace. Stoicism teaches that you are the guardian of your own soul. Your self worth isn't dependent on validation, but on virtue. And that brings us to a crucial modern lesson. Boundaries are not walls, they are bridges to healthier connection. Many confuse detachment with indifference, but the Stoic detachment is not coldness, it's clarity. It's saying, this is what I can give without losing myself. Boundaries aren't barriers, they are expressions of self respect. When both partners bring their whole selves autonomous, aware, and emotionally balanced, they don't fuse into one, they dance in harmony. Now, let's talk about love, not just the passionate kind, but the enduring kind, the kind that survives life's storms. Modern culture often glorifies excitement over stability, but Stoics, they understood that deep love is built, not found. Here are Stoic practices that can deepen your intimacy. 1. Vulnerability and authenticity. Stoicism doesn't mean building emotional walls. In fact, it invites honesty. True strength lies in saying, this is who I am, flaws and all. When we dare to be seen, we invite others to meet us at that level. That's where intimacy begins. 2. Gratitude. Seneca advised, begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. Appreciate your partner today, not for who you wish they were, but for who they are. Compliment their strengths, acknowledge their efforts. Gratitude is the quiet glue that holds relationships together. 3. Shared values and goals. The Stoics believed in living in harmony with nature and reason. What does that mean for us? It means aligning our lives with purpose. A couple that shares values like kindness, growth, and service has a compass to navigate through any storm. Talk about your dreams. Plan something meaningful together. Build a life on shared purpose, not just shared playlist. One of the most overlooked elements in any lasting relationship is forgiveness. The Stoics didn't dwell on revenge or holding grudges, they saw them as chains we place on our own hearts. Epictetus taught us, when someone does you wrong, immediately consider what led him to do it. Once you understand, compassion replaces anger. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or accepting harmful behavior. It means choosing inner peace over emotional imprisonment. In love, you will hurt and be hurt. What matters is whether you let that pain harden you or humble you. And finally, presence. In a world of distractions, being fully here with someone is an act of love. When we scroll through phones during dinner or let our minds wander during conversations, we steal intimacy without realizing it. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. Imagine treating each moment with your partner as if it were your last shared moment. Would you still argue about petty things? Would you still withhold your affection? Probably not. Presence isn't just about being physically close, it's about showing up with your entire soul. Let's bring it all together. Stoicism won't promise you a perfect relationship, it won't remove disagreements, but it will give you the tools to approach love with courage, conversations with compassion, and conflict with clarity. Remember, control what you can, release what you can't. Speak with reason, listen with empathy, practice restraint, but don't withhold love. Choose gratitude over judgment. Be vulnerable, even when it's hard. Build bonds on values, not just chemistry. Relationships in today's world are not easy, but with the timeless wisdom of the Stoics, you don't have to go in blind. Let your love be intentional. Let your words be thoughtful. Let your presence be grounded. And when the storms of life arrive, and they always do, stand steady, not because you feel nothing, but because you understand everything. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, consider diving deeper into Stoic texts, meditations by Marcus Aurelius, letters from a Stoic by Seneca, and discourses by Epictetus. Their wisdom is not just for monks or philosophers, it's for anyone who loves deeply and wants to love wisely. Until next time, stay grounded, stay kind, stay strong. If this video helped you see relationships in a new light, hit that like button and share it with someone you care about. For more Stoic insights on love, life, and inner strength, subscribe and turn on notifications. This is not just a channel, it's a journey to wisdom. See you in the next video. Subscribe to Pure Motivation for more.